welcome to episode 9 of the Knitting Esquire. My name is Candace, and I have so much to share with you today. I have 4 finished objects, some works in progress, and some great acquisitions that I've made. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Like I said, my name is Candace. You can find me over on Instagram as Candace Sue ESQ Knits and over on Ravelry as The Knitting ESQ. Everything I talk about today, you will be able to find in the description box below. YouTube has a few ways of doing that, but generally there's just the little arrows that you would click, and I will go ahead and have sections set up for all of my finished objects, my works in progress. So there'll be Ravelry pages and links to those Ravelry pages for those projects below, as well as any of the yarn dyers or makers that I talk about today. I will have links to their websites below as well for you to check out other goodies that they have. So today I am wearing the Trestle Te. This is by Tiff Nealon, and I did this as a test knit last year. I'm just looking at my notes here. I started this on September 4th last year, and I finished it on September 27th. It is made using Queen City yarn. And the main color here is called Ballet Slipper. It's just this is actually pretty accurate depiction of what it is. And then there is this great little sleeve detail here with, this is called Blowing Rock. And this is on Queen City Yarn's sport weight yarn. And it is a Merino Rambouillet non-superwash. So it's got definitely some different characteristics. It's not by any means I'm wearing this close to, directly to my skin. It's not itchy in any kind of way, but it definitely does not have as soft of a feature as superwash weight would. But it has just this beautiful lace. I'm lifting up. Just this beautiful lace, easy, simple lace detail. It's very cute. And then the rest of it is just, back up here a minute so you can see. The rest of it is just all stockinette, straight down, and then there's some ribbing at the bottom, and it's got a split hem rib. It looks lopsided the way that I'm wearing this. I keep grabbing the wrong side here. There we go. Straighten myself out. Okay. So this is the Trestle Te by Tiff Nealon. And it is a sport weight yarn. It knits up very quickly. Like I said, it took me 23 days to knit this. And it is great for warmer weather knitwear. So you should check out that pattern. It was a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into those finished objects. I have not one, but 4 finished objects to share with you today. I've been very busy, not only in life and kid stuff and work, but I've also been able to get in a lot of knit time. I'm not complaining about that by any means, but that just means I have more to share with you today. So my first finished object is a pair of, I bet you can guess it, vanilla socks. So this is the vanilla sock pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady, 9-inch circulars, as I always do, and 56 stitches, which is her small size. They just fit so much better for me that way. And I probably should have opened my project book here to be able to share this with you. I knit this on size 1, US 1 or 2.25 millimeter circular needles. And this is a Breakfast Club colorway by the Yarn Cafe Creations. It is on, I believe, an 85-15 base, but let me just open up my actual notes here and see what we have. Yep, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, And this is the main color here. No, I never did it. And the mini, which I used for both all the cuffs, the heels, and the toes, is called a Princess. And it is Molly Ringwald 80s. Like, I can see the brown leather coat that she wears in here with her boots, with her pink dress, and I don't know, maybe some pops of her hair. They're fantastic. I love them so much. I started these on March 29th and finished them on April 4th. I can't remember if I think the last time I had podcasted, I was like in the middle of working on them. I hope I hadn't shared them yet. I don't think I did. But this makes pair number 8 for 24 of 2024. So that is finished objects number 1. I am going to take these off the sock blocker because my next finished object is also a pair of socks. And you may recall seeing these, or at least the yarn, in the last episode. The yarn, I went ahead and I was excited about everything that I had got while we were in London. And so I went ahead and caked up pretty immediately a skein of the colorways that I had gotten in London. And I've already finished these as well. So, finished object number 2. These are also vanilla socks. 56 stitches, US 1, 2.25 millimeter, 9-inch circulars. Oh, those are great, right? So this yarn is the Wool Kitchen, which she is a local London dyer, and this is on her 75% BFL, 25% nylon base. Honestly, I didn't, really think about it too much, the differences between merino and BFL, but these are a little bit woolier than merino. They're actually a little bit cooler than the other socks that I've knit with the merino, the superwash merino. Probably because they're just the straight BFL with no, they're not superwash, so they're not superwash. And this colorway is called Neon Only. And the toe and the cuff is from a sock set that I had done for my son. I knit him a Musselburgh hat, and I didn't need to use the mini. I just used the main skein. And so I saved the mini, and I saw that this was like this nice bright green. I think it's from 3 Irish Girls. I think that's right. The information is on my Ravelry page, so I'll make sure to post all of that below, as well as a link to their website too, even though it's just for the mini portion of it. But I just thought the bright green was fantastic, and I chose to do a pop of color, so I used the main color up here at the top for like 3, I think I do 3 rounds of the ribbing with that, and then I jumped into the mini skein there. So I started these on April 4th and finished them on April 19th, and this made pair number 9 for 24 and 2024. So as you can see, we're in April, and I am well on my way to succeeding my goal of knitting 24 pairs of socks in 2024. At this point, I could probably miss a month or 2 and still have enough time to finish up all of them. However, some of you may follow the Crazy Sock Lady. If you don't, I hope you do. You should go check her out. She has a lot of followers anyway, but she always hosts the summer sock camp, and I always partake in the summer sock camp to see how many socks on top of my normal year-long goal that I'm doing here for knitting socks. I try to kind of set a mini goal in the summer to see how many pairs of socks I can knit between the time that her make-along starts and finishes. And so I think last week she announced that she is starting the summer sock camp on May 24th, which is the last day of her kids' school, the last day of my kids' school, and it's the day before we go on vacation again. We are going to Alaska for a cruise at the end of May. So I will have some great plain knitting coming up, as well as cruise knitting. And it goes until, sometime in August. I feel like maybe the end of August is when she does it, or maybe mid-August. I will make sure to include something in this general area here with her make-along details so that if you want to partake, you can, and you haven't before, be a part of the summer sock camp. It's just fun. It's laid back, and I just love it so much. So I've been doing that for a few years now, and yeah, so I will be part of that. All of that leads into the fact that my third finished object is yet another pair of socks. So again, this is just Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady, her vanilla 56 stitches, which is the small. Again, US Addy size 1 needles or 2.25 millimeters. And they're the 9-inch circulars. This, however, is a sock set that I got from Freckled Whimsy. And this is the Spells and Things, or her Harry Potter Club, from August of 2023. It's called Magical Umbrella, which is great. I think this is in reference to Hagrid's umbrella that he uses as a wand. But I don't quote me on that. I don't know for certain. But when I watched the movie, his umbrella kind of reminds me of this. So that's what I'm going with. I could be wrong. This is on her Splendid base, which is the 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. And I started these on April 19th and finished them on April 24th. Look at me go. So this pair of socks makes pair number 10 for 24 in 2024. So I'm only 14 pairs of socks away from completing my goal. So as you can see, get real nice and close in here. Oh, those colors are just so great, and they show up so nicely. The lighting in here is apparently good today. So that is finished object number 3. And I know I said I had 4 finished objects for you. And you might be thinking that pair number 10 or 11 is my 4th object, but it's not. So this guy, let me tell you, to bind off this project was crazy, ridiculous. I don't know how people have done it so quickly. It's let me just show it. So I finished, ends are not woven in yet. I'm still calling it finished. I finished my Glittering Snowscape Shawl by Stephen West. If you remember, I started this project on December 28th. I finished it on April 17th. So it took me a good 4 months, right? January, February, March, 3.5 months to finish this thing. It's huge. It's comfy. It is amazing. And I have to slide back for you to see it. There she is in all of her glory. It is beautiful. It's amazing. It took over 25,000 stitches to do this I-cord, and I'm sorry for the dangling yarn. I really should have woven in my ends better, but I was just excited for it to be done. It took over 25,000 stitches to do the bind off on the bottom of this thing. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. Just kind of get in here so you can see all of the different stitch patterns. Each color is a different section here. I was so excited when it was finally done. Okay, so now the stats. This weighs 348.33 grams. There are 5 colors. All of them are done, if you remember, but it's by Goosey Fibers, and it's on her Goosey sock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. I knit these on a US 4 needle. This is Stephen West's Glittering Snowscape shawl. Color A, which is this top section here, is called Cockatoo. Section B, which is this right down in, or sorry, which is right in here, is Shabby Velvet Nose. Section C is Pelican, which I think, yeah, Section C is actually down here. So this is Section A all the way to here. This is Cockatoo. Section B through here, Shabby Velvet Nose. Section C is this like dusty pink color, is called Pelican. Then we have the Hunger Birds, is that purple. And then the bottom purple is Practical Magic. And it is the coziest, like, just wrap up and read a book amazingness shawl in the morning when I'm up before everybody else, getting a little bit of knitting in. I just wrap up and my arms fall. Oh, see how just like it is absolutely stunning and fantastic. I actually thought maybe I might submit this for our Florida State Fair. They host it in, I think it's in February every year, but you have to do your submissions. And so I thought maybe I might put this one in. I've never really thought my knitting was like, I'm like an okay knitter, right? Like I'm okay. Certainly don't consider myself an expert by any means. I wouldn't want to be an expert. I'm always learning new things, new stitches. Some things I still actually would consider myself maybe an advanced beginner on, just because I'm not great at them, or I don't know a lot about it. Like I don't do a lot of beading. I don't do a lot of like embellishments. I've done some color work, which is done okay. I've only done 1 or 2 things with cabling, so not very much on the cabling. Lace work I love. Like this all day long I could do. Sorry for my ends. But yes, I think I might end up submitting this one for judging at the state fair this year. So we'll see. But this guy, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I'm so excited it's done. But at the same time, like it was so much fun. I would consider knitting another one. They just take forever. And I know he's got so many other shawls that I could probably do. And so I might pick that as one of the next ones, but we'll see. I've got some beautiful yarns, some nice like mini sets that I could totally use as some great fades and some fun things to do another Stephen West shawl with. So that is the Glittering Snowscape. I'm so glad it's done and I get to use it and it's beautiful. And this, yeah, is amazing. So that is the finale of my finished objects. And so since I have finished this guy, I was kind of missing the shawl knitting. And I was like, well, maybe it would be nice to use up some of this DK yarn that I have. I'm not a very big DK yarn knitter. So let's just go ahead and get into those works in progress. The first one that I'm going to share with you is called My Reading Shawl by KF Jones from the Bakery Bears. It's a very simple triangular shawl. She talks a lot about it recently, actually, in some of her episodes. I think she's knit 3 of these guys now. And it's meant for Advent knitting. So I know she had kind of done it, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, for Advents. However, and she was holding them fingering weight double to get the DK weight. I have all of this DK weight yarn from the Mag Fiber Society that I'm in, and I don't knit a lot with DK just because in Florida it's such there's actually such a difference between fingering and DK, right? It's almost double that it's just so warm to wear. And so I thought, I have all of this yarn. I know that this shawl takes quite a bit of yarn. And so why don't I just go ahead and use it? And now, as part of the Magpie Fiber Society club member, you get 2 skeins every quarter. And so I have 2 colors of each of these DK. So I still have enough set of yarn that I could probably knit the same exact shawl with the same exact colors. But I figured I can figure that out for a different day. So I am knitting this on a US size 7, which I think is, actually I can look really quickly here, maybe if my eyes will allow. US 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter needle. And it goes quick. This is all just like straight knitting, no purling, which is fantastic. And the DK is on their Swanky's DK base, which is 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And I just thought, oh, I need another shawl to cuddle up in now because that glittering snowscape shawl is amazing. Let's do the reading shawl by Kay Jones. So I started this on April 22nd, so it's been a few days now. 6 days? Yeah, 6 days. And I've made it this far. And I think, let's see if we can get that in here. Oh yeah, there you go. That's a pretty true representation of the color there. And so it's just real simple. It's just a couple of knit front and backs on each side here, and then to increase, you're doing knit front and backs along the edge here so you can kind of see that difference in edging. So I had picked 6 colors of DK to use, and they are all in here not wound up yet. They are all out of order, but I think that'll be fun. I'll just show you along the way when I add my next one so you can see what I've chosen to do. But you know, when I weighed this, it was like 120 grams of DK weight in this. You know, they always give you a little bit of overage, generally speaking. So this is just going to be squish. It's just complete squish. I love it so much. It's going to knit up quickly. It's going to knit up beautifully. So I'm excited about that. So while we are here, I will go ahead and stick my little marker to show that I talked to you about it today. And then the next time I show it, we can see what kind of progress I've made. Hopefully, it's not a month from now, considering that's what it's been since I last recorded. And I apologize for that. This is the biggest part. Well, I mean, obviously you can see I got all of that other stuff off my needles, so I don't have a ton of works in progress right now that I have actually worked on besides starting this project, and I started another pair of socks. So I will go ahead and talk about those. And at this point, since my whip, you know, my active, like the ones that I'm really working on, is kind of getting smaller, I might pull out some of those other ones that I had showed at the beginning of the year as goals to finish and start getting some of those off my needles. I think that will make me feel productive. But I was actually thinking now would be a perfect time to finish up that Totally Tank by Jessie Made Designs. We're getting right into the weather now. It's been 85, 90. And I literally just have a few more inches of stockinette to go in the round, by the way, on size, I think those are 3 or 4 needles. So it really should not be difficult for me to get this thing done. I just need to sit down and do it. And so maybe I'll make that kind of be my forefront project for a little while to get that done. So I finished up the magical umbrella socks earlier this week and immediately cast on because I was away for a work trip in New York. So I think on Thursday I started cast on another pair of socks, and sock number 1 is complete. Once again, 9-inch circulars, US 1, 2.25 millimeter, the Crazy Sock Lady vanilla sock pattern, and yeah, a little bit obsessed. So these are another Freckled Whimsy on the Harry Potter Club, or the magical, I don't know what she calls it, Spells and Things club. This is actually on her Serendipity base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 15% nylon. Get my face out of there. There we go. These are just fun. This is called Fancy Flyer. In parentheses, it's got Hedwig, which, come on, that looks like a snowy white owl. Everything about it. I love it so much. The speckling in her. And then the mini I'm using just comes with the sock set, and it doesn't really have a colorway. I think it's just part of, she just considers it part of it, but I'm using it for the cuff and the heel. And I started this sock number 2 this morning because I finished this yesterday. So it takes me started it on Thursday, finished it on Sunday. I didn't really knit on it much Friday or yesterday, to be quite frank. A lot of this was done on Thursday. Finished it yesterday. So hopefully I'll have another sock done here this week, and I can cast on another sock because I always have a sock on the go. But that is work in progress number 2, and really my final work in progress. Everything else has just kind of been like calming down once I finally got that shawl done. That took a lot, and then I started that other shawl. So that is what I've got on my needles right now. So I guess that brings us into the acquisition portion of things. I have my normal clubs that I've been part of. I haven't really gone out and done too much purchasing. My husband even commented that there was no yarn in the mail this week, so he was surprised by that. So I have, I believe this is the April set. It is. Yep, the April set of the Owl collection by Goosey Fibers. Again, this is on her Goosey sock base, 75% superwash merino, 15 or 25% nylon. Can't do math apparently. And this is called Barn Owl. So I've decided that going forward, I don't think she offered it with the first January set, but every month so far after January, she's offered the minis with it, and I just loved the minis as well. I couldn't not get them, and it wasn't much more than just buying the single skein. So this is the Barn Owl set by Goosey Fibers, and again, Barn Owl for the month of April, and these great little minis just look so fun together, and I love it. So acquisition number 1. As you can tell, I'm a big Goosey Fibers fan, so I have a hard time saying no to her stuff. My yarn came in for my Taylor Swift blanket. I have not yet added it, so that will hopefully be done as my next episode comes along. But I can show off. This is called, the colorway is called Delicate. I believe we are going into, I think this is for Reputation. And I think the way that he talked about it was that the main color, which is like that smoky gray blue color, is considered like the bad, or the dark side of things. And then this color, Delicate, which is like this, it's picking up pretty well, is called Delicate. And so this would be for the good side of things from the Reputation album. And this is 100% superwash British blue-faced Leicester Aran weight yarn by Archaic Fibers. And then let's go into Club. So this is the April Club. It's the end of April, so you should have gotten it for Freckled Whimsy for the Magical Mischief. And this is called There's a Boggart in My Wardrobe, and I always get the Splendid base, which is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and this is a 6 yarn or 6 color striped repeat. And it's just great. That purple, it totally reminds me of Professor Lupin. And when he breaks out that boggart, this would be, it kind of reminds me of when Neville does his grandmother and has to picture Snape in the grandmother's clothes. And this is kind of how it turned out. I like it. So maybe that'll be my next pair of socks. We'll see. The next two were random purchases. These are my final two. I really like the mystery sets by 3 by the Sea Designs. And so I went ahead and partook in the Anne of Green Gables mystery set. And it's so cute. It always comes with a little bag of tea. And this time they did a stitch marker. So I will show off this cute little stitch marker, which is Anne of Green Gables. Might have to take it out of the packaging here for you to actually be able to see it. That's fine. Sorry for the crinkling. Let's go ahead and take it out so you can see how cute it is. Again, 3 by the Sea Designs, and they're actually located here in Florida, over in the Tampa area. And it is just not wanting to grab. I think let's see. Oh, there we go. Too close. So there she is. And this is the beautiful, it's called Kindred Spirits, the beautiful colorway to go along with it. So you can totally see the Green Gables, Anne's hair. It's lovely. And it's got just like the best little speckling in there. So 3 by the Sea Designs. Keep it up. They just released, and I think today might be the last day. Maybe it was yesterday, or soon. They have another mystery pre-order going on, and it is the Parent Trap, but it's the old school, like from the 60s Parent Trap version. And so I cannot wait to see what that's going to come out. I love the Parent Trap, the old one. And I think it's called Let's Get Together is what they're calling it, which is fantastic. And then last but not least, Mandys Making started doing a Disney Princess Club. And I somehow suckered myself into it. I wasn't going to do it, but then I was like, okay, I'll do it. So she starts off the club, and she went ahead and did Belle first from Beauty and the Beast. If you couldn't tell, I probably wouldn't even had to tell you which it was, but I just love it. I love that it ended up with a little bit of like the speckle of the red in there. I don't even know if that's what it was supposed to do, but it's great. There's a few on the back side here too. It's just like so subtle in there. But I love the yellow and the blue. So those will be really fun, probably socks, to be honest. So this is on her fingering weight base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon with 462 yards for the 100 grams and 92 yards for the 20 gram mini. So that is what I've gotten in the mail lately. I'm really hoping that I am able to record again before the length of time that it took me this time. I hate to make promises, but I just really needed to like get my mojo going and kind of get it out and not feel like it was a chore, and just like wanted to do it. So I felt that the urge today to do that. And so hopefully the next time I will not have, well, I'll have some projects, but it won't be such a far time apart. So I wish I could find a rhythm to like make this weekly. I'm just having a really hard time doing that and making it consistent. So if you would prefer, do you prefer like 2 weeks, 1 week? Is a month too long? Tell me what you think is the right amount of time. How often you'd like to hear from me. I will try and build that into my schedule. I know I have time to do it. I just have to feel like you want to see it. So let me know. Please make sure you do all of those things that make YouTube happy. Like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so that way when I do post, you get to see it right away. Please comment. I love hearing from you. I've responded. I do respond. I love chatting with you. I've met some nice people, made some good friends already through this, and that's what it was all about for me, is just kind of being able to share my making with others. I don't have like a local knit group that I'm part of. I've tried a few and they just haven't fit. I haven't found the right fit yet. I should just do it myself and see what happens. But so I've really kind of utilized this as my outlet for that. So please, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you're working on. Make sure to share some pictures and go ahead and follow me over on Instagram, and we can always chat over there as well. So I think that wraps it up for me. I will see you on the next one. Have a great time making all of the things that you're working on, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.